guys, so welcome back. So basically people were actually reaching out to me and asking me about my college application process or just about the college application process overall in general. So I completely felt like, girl, don't be having your secrets or whatever for you. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So number one is gonna be to start your process early. What I mean by start the process early is like, don't wait till the last minute to start, don't wait till the last minute to start applying to colleges, because most colleges, what they do is like, it's like first come first serve basis, and it's like, alright, say we have two people, Johnny and Emma. If Johnny applies in September but Emma applies in December, Johnny's gonna hear back from that school first. So I know for me specifically in high school, we had a class called college apps, which is pretty much like, it was dead ass a free period, but it was more so like, do all your college stuff right now. And what we would do is like, we had a deadline, like the school had a deadline for all the seniors. It was like, you guys need to have applied to all your colleges by November, like Thanksgiving break. If not Thanksgiving break, the latest should be Christmas break, because they just wanted us to hear back from schools in a timely manner, knowing on top of that that schools are hearing back from, like, schools are like thousands of people applying. Like, it's not like it's 10 people, it's literally thousands of people, you know what I mean? So it does take time for them to go through applications. You may get waitlisted, you may not get waitlisted. Like, you never know. So be smart about it. Just start the process early is pretty much what I'm trying to tell you. The next thing that some people might ask is it free to apply to college? Now, it's not free to apply to college, but at the same time, I can only talk for New York because I'm from New York City. Like, this is what I know about my schooling system. I know it's not free to apply. But if you do, this is where being fake broke comes into the equation. If you do get free or reduced lunch, meaning that you've paid $1.25 or $0 for school lunch, like, you qualify for a certain amount of free college applications. And I also know that the College Board website, if you qualify for free or reduced lunch, gives you a waiver for taking your SAT, as well as 5 extra free free college applications. So you get 5 from College Board, you get 4 for SUNY schools, and you get 1 fee waiver for CUNYs. But the issue with CUNY fee waivers is that they are very limited. You get 10 free free schools to apply to, basically. And the only reason why I feel like that is good as a New York City student is because when you're applying to go to SUNY's, it is $50 per application. Personally, for me, I believe I applied to 5 SUNY's. So that means if I didn't have that SUNY fee waiver, I would have been paying like $125 just to apply to school. Then I also would have been paying the $65 CUNY, and then the application process for the other schools that I applied to, because I applied to HBCUs and I believe a private school as well. So I would have been beasting paying out of pocket for all that, and I did not pay out of pocket for not one application. Not one. I refuse to. The thing that I'm going to tell y'all about is basically your essay. Now, your college essay, personally for me, I truly don't believe that they read college essays, because it's just like, you have thousands of kids applying to your school. Like, are you really going to sit down there and read those essays? No? Okay, cool. Didn't think you would. But what I will say is, like, do your essay the best that you can. Don't bullshit it. Don't, like, make up some ting-dum, because that's not the wave, you feel me? Like, not like don't make up some ting-dum, because you could make up ting, like, it don't matter, you feel me? You could make it up, like, but just make sure it fits into the category that you are picking. I think there are 6 questions that they ask you. And I know for schools like FIT and Baruch, they require you to do their own personal essay. So certain schools will require you to do their own personal essay. FIT, I know like their essays are more about like fashion and fitting in and like finding yourself as a fashion designer or as a, you know, just somebody in the fashion world or whatever it is about you. What makes you stand out? Like what makes you who you are today, but more in a fashion sense or whatever the case is. I know that's for FIT. I know for me, when I did mine, I wrote 3 different college essays, and I actually wrote my first college essay my junior year. I didn't like it, and I didn't want to use it anymore, so I wrote another one. And then that one, I didn't like it, so then I wrote another one. So I wrote 3 altogether. The last one was the one that I cared about the most. And we also got to get help from our English teachers at my high school. Like, our English teachers literally, like, sat down and like had appointments with each of us and was like, okay, like you need to change like this and this, because the thing with the college essay is that you're only allowed to write 750 words. And you know, like, well, it's 750 characters because that includes punctuation, spacing. Like, girl, 750, what the hell? Like, that's nothing. And because it's electronically done, it's like, obviously if you go over, you can't submit your shit. Like, so you have to make sure you're on the ball, honey, or whatever the case is. So that was that, pretty much, about that whole situation. The next step is your FASFA. FASFA or FASFA, I don't really know how to say it. I don't really care. I say FASFA, it's FASFA. Who's stopping me? I'm sorry, I'm watching Jerry Springer on the television, and with your FASFA, that's basically how your school is gonna get paid. However, I be saying FASFA is a gimmick. It's a gimmick. You know why? Because they be baiting you, bro. They be like, oh, this is all estimated, and then like a month before you go to school, 2 weeks before you go to school, they give you your like actual amount, and it might be more or it might be less. For me, my shit was less. Like, it was less, honey, less. I put a mad emphasis on less because that's how much less it was. I was like, well, goddamn, y'all don't play me. Girl, I had to call them up on the phone. I'm like, excuse me, y'all said I was getting so-and-so. Oh, that's an estimate. Once we do our final checks, so-and-so and so. I was like, are you dumb? I'm like, yeah, you just got me so tight. Like, I just want to kick you in your neck. Obviously, I didn't say that on the phone because then they wouldn't have helped me. But, like, that's what I was thinking in my head. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like you and I want to fight you. Pretty much is how I felt. Also, what I will say too, like I said, I could say all of this for New York because that's where I live. I know in New York, we have TAP, which is basically like free money if you stay in New York State to go to school. It's so stupid, but like, it's free money, and nobody's gonna complain about free money, bro. Like, you know. On the topic of FAFSA, I definitely would say you guys should definitely look into scholarships. I looked into scholarships, but like, I was trying to shoot for them $20,000, $50,000 ones, and they asked for mad information, and I was just like, I don't got the time, honey. Like, I just wrote 10 essays. I got a test on Monday. Like, I got prom, I got graduation, I got seniorship. Like, it's so much to worry about your senior year. It's like, it's so hectic and it's so annoying. Like, I swear to y'all, like, it's a dub. But definitely, if you guys can, you guys should. Also, sign up for any scholarships that you could get at school. I know this one girl that I'm cool with. Like, she gets, like, scholarships just for her books, which covers, like, all her books expenses. So, that's really good. I mean, it's only $500, but you can actually rent your textbooks. You don't have to physically pay for them, like, outright flat. And I will also say, like, this is actually for when you get to college. Don't get your textbooks off rip. Wait until you get in the class to know if you should get your textbooks, because sometimes they'll tell you get your textbooks and you really don't need them. The only reason you need them is if you need clarification, and I mean, Google is a thing. You really don't need a textbook for clarification, because Google will probably give you better clarification than a textbook written in like 1985. You know what I mean? Basically is how it goes. Number 5, I would say, is to have an adult help you. I know for me personally, like, for me personally, like, I'm kind of like the only person in my family that's like, I'm the only person in my immediate family that, you know, is like dealing with college to this extent, or whatever the case is. So asking for help was kind of hard for me. So I know I relied more on like my teachers at school and stuff like that to ask them about help, because like, obviously if they teach and they went to college, they know stuff. They could better help me understand the college process or whatever the case is. And then I know for me, like, after I understood it, I also, like, started to help other people understand it, because I just felt like, I know a lot of us, like, we don't have a lot of parents who, like, went to college or whatever the case is. Some of us are first-time college students ourselves, so it's hard to, like, have somebody around to, like, help us. Another thing I would definitely say, too, is, like, you can always use Google, because Google is always going to be there. It's a search engine. It's definitely going to help you find out information, because I know for me, like, in our college apps class, like, our teachers, I felt like they were mad useless. Like, they didn't know a lot of stuff about the college application process. Granted, they went to college, like, in the years we were born, so it's a little more different for them, or whatever the case is. So I used to just use Google, honestly, for everything I wanted to know. I used to use Google, and then if I could ask an adult for help, I would ask them for help. But I more so asked them more for their, like, opinions and stuff on certain situations than I did for, like, help, because I can help myself. And the last step I would say is pretty much more advice than a step, but it's not to be discouraged. Just because you don't get into the school of your choice don't mean you can never go there. Understand that you can transfer into schools. There's ways to go about the system, you understand? And personally, for me, being the fact that I did go away to school my first year, something that I will definitely stress to people, it's probably the fact that, like, it's better if you stay and you do your first 2 years at, like, a local community college, and then you transfer out for your last 2 years if you guys want to do that. If you don't want to do that, you could definitely go away in the beginning and just stay away. But, like, what I noticed is, like, your first 2 years are, like, your Common Core classes. They're all basic shit. Like, you're not learning anything specific to your major, like, so it's fake kind of pointless. It's just, like, you're there, but you're, like, not there in a way. However, the problem with doing that is that credits are very funny. Certain schools don't accept certain credits, and it kind of throws you off a little bit in your balance. So it is up to you. It's definitely a personal preference, and it's whatever you want it to be. Honestly, I'm not going to stress it, but that's personally what I would say when it comes to the college application process. If you guys do have any comments or questions, you guys can definitely write it down below. I would definitely get back to you guys.